Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and we are talking about the do's, the don'ts of the financial markets. We're seeing great moves in these markets, up, but also down. And we mentioned that in the first segment. We'll talk about that strategy here coming up. But Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show, on their 25th year, teaching people just like you how to get started in the markets, whether you're just getting started or if you've been in the markets, and hopefully you're looking for maybe making smarter and better investing decisions. Local academies, actually hands-on academies, locally right here in Denver, Colorado, also Bloomington, Minnesota. Investing with Confidence is nationwide. Al, we had investing classes that we, gave away tickets to in the last segment. We had a lot of people call in. I want to make sure I give people an opportunity so they don't miss that opportunity to get started in these markets. So if you want to come to one of these investing classes locally here, call 888-682-6466, and that's for 2 tickets plus a insider's kit, or actually a financial quick start kit, I should say. Change the name. That includes some free stock picks, so don't miss out on that. 888-682-6466. So, Al, there's a lot going on in this world last couple of years, and it just keeps continuing. There's new things every day, and it's really pumped in a lot by the media, the news. They're giving or pushing out fear to the public, right? So what's happening, especially with people's finances or with people that are looking to upgrade their lifestyle, they sometimes do nothing when they're unsure about something or they are, nervous about something or scared of something. And it's kind of like that word status quo, which basically status quo is, the definition in, was it Merriam-Webster, is being content, right? And an example of that is, in a sentence, he is content with the status quo and does not like change. And that's what people are afraid of, is change. What do you think about that? If people are looking to upgrade their lifestyle or enhance their lifestyle, especially financially, you have to do things a little bit differently because we have a retirement crisis right now.
We do.
People are having a tough time retiring. If they are, they're living on less. And then it's status quo, and they feel like it's normal. I want you to talk about that a little bit. Help people make decisions in the financial markets. Help people kind of get out of their comfort zone and hopefully reach those goals that they do have, especially have the opportunity to do that financially.
Yeah, and it's okay to be afraid. That's fine, but it's not okay to do nothing about it. You mentioned status quo. Really, I think what happens is that people feel safety in circumstances that they know, even if they don't like those circumstances, even if they're not the best circumstances for them. They sense danger in what they don't know. And I think that just emphasizes the importance of gaining knowledge and addressing those circumstances that you don't like or you fear, and then change that. Everybody can make decisions that can allow them to change something, but in the financial markets, it takes the knowledge to be able to do that. It takes knowledge, it takes guidance, it takes the understanding of who and what controls price, because that's the most important thing. If you're investing in something, what impacts your investments is the movement of price. So it's really important to understand what impacts price, who impacts price, and how to basically just kind of do exactly what they're doing. You have to understand price action if you want to have the opportunity to be successful in these markets. And one of the things that we do in our classes is really concentrate on what we call core strategy. It's an investment strategy that Online Trading Academy has developed and fine-tuned over the years that really concentrates on the only thing that's factually important to you, and that's when does price turn and how far is it going to go. How far it's going to go, that becomes your profit. But if you can identify where prices turn or where they impact by people like, Warren Buffett or Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan, they're investing sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars in a position. That's certainly enough money to move the price of it. And how would you like to be able to use a strategy that shows you how to participate with them? It's like anything else you do. The best way for you to do something most effectively and efficiently is to copy the people that are successful, that already have gone through the trials and errors and have created a world or environment of success. So if you can copy them and do the same things that they have done that provide consistency to them, isn't that going to be beneficial to you? And that's what our core strategy does.
Yeah, it's designed to teach you to follow those institutions. We call it the smart money. And just to give a real life example, I'm going to circle back to this, how having a plan actually helps people make decisions in the financial markets. A lot of people, if you're going somewhere in your car and you're trying to drive somewhere and you're not sure where to go, you put the address in a GPS.
Right.
And you follow that address and you have the confidence to take a left turn on this street and a right turn on that street to reach your destination. And that helps you make that decision to turn left here, to turn right here. Same thing in the financial markets. If you have an investing plan or a trading plan, which is basically telling you, here's what you're doing, here is why, and then have basically steps within there. Take this investment here and this is why. Take this investment there and that is why. That really helps you be decisive in the financial markets. That helps you say, okay, now I can get in the markets, but don't just do nothing. Take action. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, but when you have a plan, and that's what Online Trading Academy helps people with, is how to create that investment plan. That's where you can get out of that status quo and not just say, it is what it is. Learn the skills and techniques to upgrade that lifestyle and have the opportunity to do that on your terms. Al teaches investing classes that we do right here locally, right here in Bloomington, Minnesota, and Denver, Colorado. These are hands-on. There's a physical place where you can go to learn about the financial markets. So if you're new to the markets or you've been investing for many years, this is the place for you. Call right now for 2 tickets. Get your phone ready. I'll give you 2 seconds. 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets for the investing class. That also includes a quick start kit that has some free stock picks in there, and that will actually help you get started right away. If you're a texter, just text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, we're going to call you right back because you're going to get a text with a link. If you want to pick your own date for the class, you can do that. Otherwise, we'll make sure we get a call to you to find a date that works best for you. We do these during the day, the evenings, also on the weekends, so pretty much anybody can attend these. So, Al, with having a plan to get out of status quo, you need that in the financial markets. Now, once you've accomplished that, there's different strategies. You have active income strategies, you have wealth strategies. Let's talk about the active income strategies right now, because there's a lot of listeners right now that are searching for extra income. But you need a strategy for that and not a second job. Talk about the income strategies in the financial markets.
Yeah. Well, first of all, one of the reasons that income strategies are so important is that if you look at the people that are truly financially successful in this world, they have multiple sources of income. That does not mean multiple jobs. Although a lot of people, a lot of the public, that's what they do. They feel, well, I'll just get a part-time job or I'll get a second job or do something on the weekends. You can do that, but is that really how you want to live your life?
Well, that takes
more.
Yeah, that takes away your time from your family, the fun things that you want to do.
Right.
So with trading and investing, you can do that at home as long as you have an internet connection, which I'm assuming most of our listeners have one.
Right. And we really look at your financial world as comprised of 2 parts. One is that income portion of it, and one is the wealth retirement portion. And most of you, if you're still working, you are in that income part of your life. You're in that asset accumulation phase. Well, if you are using a financial advisor that puts you in the typical Wall Street strategy is a buy and hold strategy where a portfolio is put together, and then you are told to hold on to it for maybe decades. Don't worry about these crashes, these corrections, because the market always comes back. For those of you that were in the market in the year 2000, for example, the market came back after 2 big down draws in the S&P 500. Only it took you 14 or 15 years to get back.
Yeah, so a lot of people had 14, 15 years with zero growth.
Well, that's what it was. It was zero growth, right?
And think about that for a second. You can't get that time back.
Time is a decaying asset. Unfortunately, it's something that we can't control. But what you can do is take advantage of the time you have, which means taking action now. So if you're looking at additional income, how can a long-term portfolio provide that for you? It really can't unless you're just looking at maybe some dividends. But what kind of payouts are you getting with the dividend stocks now?
1-2%.
Not very much.
What the heck is that going to do for somebody?
Even if you're in treasuries, actually that's negative returns.
Yeah.
when you look at the impact of inflation.
So, Al, sorry, I just want to interrupt you for a second because we talked a little bit about down markets in the first segment in the beginning here. There's strategies for down markets. So we're seeing down markets right now. People that are in that in buy and hold strategy, like you talked about, they're losing right now. Talk about that downward strategy. So, and our listeners know, hey, there are strategies for or income strategies as it's going down.
Right. Well, and if you're looking at income, what typically that means is more short term. And maybe it's weekly or monthly income, additional income. For some people, it may be daily income. And it requires a different approach to the markets to be able to do that. It has to be something that you can get into and out of with a potential profit in a short period of time. Maybe that's in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or a week or a month, not decades. And there's specific assets that are really perfect for that kind of trading. Not just stocks. I mean, a lot of people try to short-term trade stocks, but a lot of the stocks that are really worth investing in right now are very highly priced. So it really impacts your ability to have a good diversified portfolio. There are assets like the options market, the futures market, the foreign exchange market, which are short-term trading vehicles. Options and Forex can be used more long-term also, but you have some versatility there. Futures is a great short-term trading vehicle. A lot of people are in and out of a position in a day or two, couple of days. Same thing with Forex and options. You kind of choose how you want to address the market with the way that you use those assets.
Let me ask you this. So a lot of people work during the day. If the stock market's only open during the day, what are the opportunities maybe at night after work?
Well, that's a great question. And there just happens to be two assets that trade basically 24 hours a day, and that's the futures market and the foreign exchange market. Just because our market closes, just because things kind of shut down in the United States, doesn't mean that happens around the world. Look at the different time zones. For a lot of areas of the world, they're just getting started as we're shutting down. So the markets are open. The financial markets, you have access to them 24 hours a day with futures and Forex. For those of you that understand what a gap is, that's let's say that you have shares in Microsoft, and Microsoft reports earnings. And by the way, earnings are always reported after the market closes or before the market opens. So if you own Microsoft, and let's say they have a bad earnings report, you may wake up the next day and find that you just lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% of the value of your stock because it gapped down. Using futures, you can eliminate that because the futures market doesn't close during the week.
Yeah, the opportunities, I think, especially with these other markets, are phenomenal, right? And I was actually teaching an investing class yesterday, last night, and we were talking about these different assets, and they're not new. They were just a little bit different for people,
Right?
And they're like, I can't believe I didn't even know about this. And they're not telling you about this on TV, internet. I mean, they're telling you to get into stocks. Well, what is Wall Street selling? Mutual funds. They're just, it's an expensive way to get in the market. Well, investors have the opportunity to use leverage with the futures market, the Forex market, and the options market, which means you're more capital efficient. Essentially, you can control much more of an, whatever it is, a stock, if it's an option, in the market with a smaller amount of capital. Right. And that's how you be capital efficient. So a lot of people that don't think they can get in the market because they don't have enough money, you're just not in the right asset. And that's what you really get into in these investing classes is what are those different income strategies that investors or traders or people, we'll call it, that can use. They can use them in the evening because they're 24 hours a day. So people that are looking for that income strategy, well, rather than trying to do it on your lunch hour during work or something, well, maybe you take a little time in the evening and do it, or early morning. You actually dictate when you do that. If you want to learn more about these different income strategies that are out there, Al teaches these investing classes. I do as well. We do them locally here in Denver, Colorado, and also Bloomington, Minnesota. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies which are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. So callers 1 through 10, get your phone ready right now. When you call in right now, you're going to receive two things. You're going to receive 2 tickets so you can bring a friend. A lot of people bring their spouse with. You're also going to receive a quick start kit that helps you get started right away. Call now. Call 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466. Also, you can text the word INVEST to the number 484848. Coming up next, Al, I want to talk more about those wealth strategies. We have a lot of listeners that are probably a little nervous about their 401ks and IRAs. Let's talk about how great these markets are, especially for retirement accounts. We'll be right back.